Today we're focusing on building nostalgia and building a home, and one of the ways that we do that is with good sleep. Birch Mattress's New Year sale is running now, and you can get 25% off your purchase for a limited time. Check out the link below for more details. Remember, these mattresses are crafted with organic and natural materials, assembled in America with organic latex, New Zealand wool, American steel springs, and organic cotton. They offer a 100-night sleep trial so that you can make sure you love your new mattress. And they also offer a 25-year warranty, flexible payment plans, financing options, and free shipping. The mattresses have a plush cotton cover. They're made of ultrafine cashmere and wool. They also offer in-home setup and removal. I've had mine for closing in on a year, and I am grateful every time I go to sleep. Visit birchliving.com/Elliott Homestead or click the link below to get 25% off your Birch mattress, plus 2 free EcoRest pillows for a limited time during their New Year sale.
Does the smell of wet wood make you nostalgic?
It does.
What does it remind you of?
It reminds me of winter in Georgia.
Because it just didn't snow, didn't freeze, so you could like smell the wood?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was wet days.
Yeah.
We had a fireplace that we would light up in the wintertime. It gets super cold outside. Sometimes it would, but
Yeah.
not like here.
Yeah.
And we lived in a wooded area. So
Smelled like wet wood.
wet wood during the winter.
Fire is a really nostalgic smell in general, I think,
Mm-hmm.
for wintertime. You know, there are certain smells like that. I mean, like neither of us grew up around farm animals, really, right? So it's kind of weird when new things make it into your nostalgic mind. Like now when I smell a cow or a horse or a chicken, like it takes you someplace.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that?
Yeah.
It's like a new nostalgia
Mm-hmm.
in a way. That's
I
kind
remember being in Germany when I was like 19.
of
And we were going on a walk, me and my friend, and they must have just spread manure on the fields because that smell was in the air, and so
Yeah.
every time I smell it, it puts me back
That's
right
what you
at
think
that
of?
exact moment. Mm-hmm.
I think of working at the feedlot, especially when the tractor's going, because that's what that work smelled like diesel and cow manure, which I like. I love both of those smells, which might be odd, but I don't know. I think it's kind of neat, and it makes me wonder what the kids will grow up thinking is like, what's going to be nostalgic for them,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like, even something as simple as cream of wheat. You know, that's a nostalgic taste for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me wonder what those things will be for them. You know, will they be happy when they smell cow manure, or taste cream of wheat, or hear a rooster crow, or, you know, listen to music that we listen to as a family, or smell a fire? Will they think of growing up here on the farm?
Probably. We have those memories, so
Yeah.
I'll probably have something like that. The other day I was pushing manure around the pasture, and I remember making a comment on that smell,
Yeah.
and Georgia said that she actually liked that smell, which I was surprised by. So
Well,
I
for
told her
them,
that was a good moment then for her
Yeah.
to go out there, because it was smelling pretty right.
for them, it smells like home. Like you're giving them the flavors, the sounds, and the smells of home, and home for us now. You know, even though we didn't grow up on the farm like they did,
Mhm.
this is still home. And like, we've been here for long enough now that those have made it into the memory bank, which is pretty special.
Mhm.
Today I want to teach you how I make one of the meals that's most nostalgic for me: homemade cream of wheat. Now, growing up, cream of wheat just came out of a box, and I didn't really think anymore about where it came from or even what it was made of. These days, that's a little bit different, and I make my homemade cream of wheat with einkorn berries. Now, what you see here is a little wheat seed. Einkorn is the only wheat that's never been hybridized, so it looks quite a bit different than modern wheat varieties. I run these little wheat seeds through my Como meal on the coarsest grind that it can do, and this creates a ground meal, a wheat meal, that then I cook with water, and it turns into essentially liquid bread, which might not sound the most appealing, but it is a flavor that I absolutely love. Einkorn has a very weak gluten structure, which means that I don't worry about getting a glycemic spike eating this for breakfast. It actually has really high protein, really high minerals, really high vitamins, and I think it's the perfect grain for homemade cream of wheat. This isn't one of those recipes that has perfect measurements. Rather, it's just one of those recipes that we make so often. It's just sort of handed down from one to the next. A little bit of ground flour, a little bit of water, and quite a bit of stirring. This time of year, we pair our homemade cream of wheat with berries. We put up a lot of berries every spring and summer and autumn, some from our farm, some from other farms, but warming them up on the stove with a little bit of syrup, it just adds a wonderful brightness to an otherwise very simple breakfast, though I think that's part of its appeal. When I grew up, I ate my cream of wheat with brown sugar and butter. Really simple, really delicious. So even though we dress it up a little bit more these days, it's still, at its core, a very simple, nostalgic recipe. It tastes like childhood to me in a perfect way. I love to think about the way that recipes like this affect our children. They affect us too. But they're going to remember these winter mornings where mom stood by the stove and stirred the cream of wheat so that it didn't get lumpy. They're going to know what the scent of simmering berries smell like. They're going to know the taste of fresh milk, of melted butter, of these gorgeous einkorn berries, freshly ground. These are going to build in their memory bank. They're going to build their own nostalgia. It's one of the things that's really easy to overlook as the homemaker, the one kind of putting in this work on the front end, is that we are really building a memory bank of nostalgia, of sounds and flavors and tastes for the people that we're serving in our home. The smell of the animals and the smell of the farm makes me incredibly nostalgic. I'm even more so going into this winter. Our dairy cow Cece is getting advanced in her years, and she's been with us on this farm since we've been here. Likewise, we have a ewe, Eleanor, who has literally been alive longer than two of my children. She's been with us for a really long time. And this past week, we welcomed our first set of twin ewe lambs from one of our new ewes, new breeding stock that we brought in last year. So while I'm equally excited that we have new strong moms to carry on our genetics and really beautiful little new crop of lambs on the ground, it's sad because at the same time it's closing a chapter on our older animals that won't be with us for that many more years. And these are the types of things that do make you nostalgic. We've devoted a lot of time and effort towards these animals that we love so much, and naturally that has to transition. Things can't stay the same, and naturally that makes me quite nostalgic.
You know what else makes me feel that way? Or like the smell that does it for me?
What's that?
Is soil. Because when I was, I don't know, maybe 11, my mom gave me one of her garden beds and said, you can tend to it, you can plant in it what you want. And I planted just full of sunflowers. But the smell of earth, I don't know, there's something about it's not only nostalgic, but like grounding. Like it takes you back to a level of yourself that just feels maybe steady, for lack of a better word. Do you know what I mean by that?
Sure.
It's like coffee. When you smell coffee, you're like, it's gonna be okay. I know what to do here.
Yeah.
It's amazing we can still smell the soil this time of year.
I know, it's not usually this bare and
It's
mild.
not cold enough to.
It's coming though.
Yeah, it is
It's not,
coming.
yeah, we gotta enjoy it while it lasts. 'Cause
Yeah.
we only have a few more days before the deep freeze comes. So.
Yeah.
Should we make a fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did your mom make cream of wheat when you were growing up? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, I remember eating it quite a bit, and I always really liked it because it meant I could put like syrup and stuff,
Of course.
or brown sugar.
Yeah. Brown
Usually.
sugar. That's what we used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But we use those like instant packet cream of wheat packets.
Yeah,
what we
I
got.
remember having the instant packets for cream of wheat. I remember it coming in like a canister of some kind.
Oh yeah. Yes. Didn't it have a guy's face on the
It
front?
was like the Quaker brand or whatever.
No, it was a
I'm trying to remember.
different guy.
Oh,
We're
maybe
gonna have
so.
to look that up.
Probably getting oats mixed up with wheat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of funny because even though that's a flavor we know, like now the way we do it is just that much different than the way our parents did it, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting how those things evolve.
Yeah, I remember putting milk in it
Milk
as
and
well.
brown sugar.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff. It's perfect for this time of year. Should we go check on the lambs?
Yeah.
What other pieces of the farm make you nostalgic now that you've been here for a while?
It's a good question. Honestly, it's sometimes when you find yourself alone doing some of the chores,
Yeah.
you know, you get a moment to just kind of stop, and maybe it's a pretty sunrise or just a particular moment, and it hits you. You know, you just kind of stop working and appreciate that moment.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes.
They're strong little lambs, aren't they? New lambs are a bit nostalgic, don't you think? like the start of
Yeah, they're special.
a new year.
Yeah, it always signals sort of like the beginning of the next phase, the next season.
Yeah. And we just got rid of last year's lambs a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Here we are. They sure are cute.
Yep.
Oh.
This year, lambs might sort of be the theme, won't they?
What?
Sheep and lambs, and if we are starting to direct things towards the sheep a little bit more.
Oh, hi, little one.
It's very protective, Mama.
She's a good mama.
Not sure. Not sure if their relationship is affectionate or...
Oh, it's good to see him up.